Are we live? Are we live? Second time's a charm this time. Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everyone this fine Friday? Or as I like to say, Yay! It's almost the weekend, y'all. I have a busy weekend ahead. We have basketball pictures for one basketball for Wrigley. We have the game for that same basketball. Then we have the YMCA basketball game for Wrigley, also all boom, boom, boom. And the two games overlap. So we're going to be running from one end of town to the other and all the fun things. I don't think I told you guys, Boston's also in basketball. The YMCA opened up like just all 4 years of high school, form a team. There's 4 teams. You guys can play each other for like 6 weeks. So he had his first game last night, and they annihilated the other team. Boston scored 12 points, and it's funny because he's kind of been out of the game, no pun intended, of basketball for a while because he just kind of thought, well, we're a class AA school here in Montana. He's good, but he's not great at basketball. He's good, but he's not great, and he knows that it's a thing. But he scored 12 points last night. He's got good form. He's way better than I ever could have been. So I'm just glad he still has an opportunity, I guess, to play basketball. It's so fun. Yeah, his main love and priority and focus is still golf, but we told him, class AA school, 60 to 70 kids tried out, 60 to 70 kids tried out, and they only took 2 kids out of that because they kind of already had their team formed. It is stiff competition right now. So I'm like, you can still play and have fun and all the things. Oh, Tanya's here. Oh my God, my cousin Tanya's here. Hello, Creature Salad. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I miss you. How's your mom? How's everyone? Yes, Varish is here. Oh, congrats to Boston and his team. Yeah, it's so fun. I had a bit of a headache last night, so I thought they were just forming the teams last night. Otherwise, I'd have pushed through and went, obviously, because Wrigley had basketball practice, and then Boston has basketball game kind of overlapping last night. So I was like, I think I'll sit this one out. I'll take a bath. I'll just get in the zone. My headache went away, thank goodness. Oh, good. Yes, we do need to get together. I would love that. If not this spring sometime, maybe we need to plan a trip your guys' way this summer at some point. I think that'd be fun. I need to see what Ruth is digging. She likes to scratch the carpet like a cat. I think she thinks she's a cat. Let me just see what she's doing. What are you doing? You want to come say hi? Come say hi, Ruth. Come here. No. I know he's got lots of fun Legos and stuff on the floor, but you come say hi. Here's Ruth. Come here. Come see me, Scoot. Come see me, Scoot. Come see me. Where am I, Ruth? You say hi. She has no idea there's a camera filming. Okay, yeah, we don't need to put your tongue down my throat. I love you, doll. Okay, now time to go out. Go play with the peanut. Go play with Arthur. Arthur's birthday's tomorrow. He's going to be 3 years old. They're growing up so fast. I mean, that is insane to me. I feel like I still feel like I just got him, but at the same time, it feels like I've had him forever. You guys, I'm sure, know how that is. Tanya got her dogs not too long after I got mine in 2023. I remember it was like Thanksgiving or day before or after. I think it was Thanksgiving. Tanya got her 2 pups. I kind of spaced my puppies out by about 3 months from May, June, July, August, September, October. I don't know, say 6 months or so. I spaced my pups out. They were born, let's see, he was July. I always call it June or July. January. He was born January 31st, and Ruth was born July 19th. So, yeah, they were spaced out a little bit. We got Arthur on Versh's birthday on May 27th. We brought him home, and then we got Ruth on October 5th. So, yeah, we had some time to kind of space out the puppiness. But, yeah. Jess is here. Hello. Well, today's going to be a donation only live stream. I'm sure we'll just kind of talk and hang out here for a moment, but we do already have one donation from Katie, a full read, which we will get into. Yes, same day as Jess's husband's funeral. She's a widow now. Yes, it was a weird day, a good day, an interesting day, and of course an amazing day. Because not only did I get to see one of my besties, I also got a new pup. It was a good day. Also a sad day, obviously. But yes. All right. Well, we also have a one card pull, two one card pulls for Versha to timestamp. Okay, I can totally do that. Yeah, the dreams are still off the chain the way that they are. I had yet another, not last night, but the night before. Last night's dreams, weirdly enough, Ruth woke me up at like 12:20. And I know I dreamed after that, but I remember the dream before that, bits and pieces. Like I remembered it this morning, but I'm already drawing a blank on what it was about. But the night before was a very vivid dream that I still remember in great detail. Um, Once again, another pregnancy dream. Fun times, fun times. Yeah, I'm not having a baby at 44. Just not going to happen. Which I would be 44 by the time any baby would be born. But we're taking the more metaphorical meaning behind it. Yes, that's going to be what we're doing. Taking the metaphorical meaning of new birth, new creations, new ideas, new beginnings. I'm here for all that. In a year one, obviously, awesome. And I'm in personal year 6. So I'm doing a lot of nurturing of my projects, of my family, of my home, lots of shifts and changes. I'm not just hoping this year, but like, I know 6 isn't a year to push through. That's more of a 4-year, an 8-year, even a 9-year, personal years. I'm not going to push because this is something I learned about my personal human design, having an open ego center. If I had a closed or a defined, that's the word. If I had a defined ego center in my chart, meaning it was colored in, I could set all the goals and accumulate and knock out all the goals I wanted. But because mine's open, I almost have to wait for specific timing or opportunities or to cross paths with someone who has a defined ego center. Thankfully, my husband has a defined ego center. So it's almost like when he's home, I do kind of get this gumption out of nowhere to like, let's pull all the stuff out of my closet. But when he's not home, that's way harder for me to do. But he has 2 centers defined, and the 2 centers that he has defined, I don't. And all the other centers he doesn't have defined, I do. So it's almost like they call it 12 and 0, nowhere to go. I think if you do like a synastry of your centers over your partner's centers, it doesn't mean like, oh, boring, nowhere to go. It just means like obviously there are gates and stuff that if you put your chart over someone else's, maybe you have a partial gate and then they have the other gate to create that channel. In your friendships, in your personal like connections with your family, your spouse, or whatever. It's really cool to see. And then there are certain people in my life that I'm like, I can guarantee you that they have this specific thing, because when I interact with them and our energies merge, it's like I just have like all the excitement in the world to do certain things. It's just fun. It's fun to see how each people's dynamic affects each other and yourselves when you're in these dynamics. It's really cool. Oh, such a day to recharge. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know that I have a lot that we need to discuss or talk about today, but we do have 2 donations, donation only live stream. We're 8 minutes in. Yeah, no, okay. We just had another donation come in from Jessa. So I'm just going to start with Katie, because that way I won't leave her out the way I have been from time to time by just putting her as a timestamp that we'll get to. So we're going to timestamp now for Katie. And it is 8:59. We'll just say 9 on the nose. 9 minutes. And then we will have Versha on deck with her 2 one card pulls, and then Jessa for her one card pull as well. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Get my email up here. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. I'm going to do it on here. It's not updated on my phone for some reason, and half the time it doesn't want to update on my computer. Oh, there they are. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so we are going to go to Katie. Hello, hope you're doing well. I would like a message from my spirit team, and I will watch the live stream after work. Thank you. You are so welcome. Well, let's get our timer going. So, message from spirit team for Katie. And I'm going to try like heck to stick to my timer today. I need to be more mindful. Normally the timer goes off. I'm like, who cares about you? I'm going to try. Because I do have some things that I'd like to accomplish. In my kitchen today, I'm doing a little bit of spot cleaning and deep cleaning here and there just to make the workflow of the kitchen a lot better for myself. I just need to like feel like I'm more in control in the kitchen area of my home, if that makes sense. So cleaning out a drawer and a cupboard here and there. I need to pull everything out of my pantry and just get rid of the, expired stuff or just stuff that I know we're not going to eat, things that are still within their time we can donate, all the fun things. All right, Katie, I already timestamped and we're already, into it. But let's actually get into it. Message from Katie's spirit team. We're going to do Brit's Third Eye Tarot. Message from Katie's spirit team for Katie in alignment with her true spirit. Ooh, we have this one coming out. Ooh, there's some shifts and changes coming in. Let's get the flavor of what's going on here. Could be in your love life or specifically masculine, divine masculine in your own life, or a masculine in your life. This does not mean someone's literally passing away, but there is maybe a shift in a dynamic between you and a masculine in your life. This could be a friend, a coworker, a brother, someone close to you, close enough to you that you see from time to time, that is shifting. Your dynamic between you and this person is shifting. Your dynamic between you and your own divine inner divine masculine is shifting to where it can become more of a container for your wonderful divine feminine essence. Let's get some additional guidance for Katie. Anything else she needs to know? Ooh, these are already flipping. We have Cobweb, which interestingly enough, this came out in our reading on the last live stream, which was really I was not expecting it to go that deep. It was a pretty potent reading. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. And then Tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. Again, there's that container to be able to contain that lovely divine feminine flow. He's also kind of holding these scales of balance, which, as we all know, the King of Cups is about having balanced emotions. It's not suppressing them. It's not allowing them to just spill out and, get all over everybody. This is about you, Katie, and your own inner divine masculine and any dealings you're having with a masculine in your life, being able to balance your emotions. It's more like you're in a response mode with your emotions rather than reactivity, or, you're reacting like in a reactive way, like just off the cuff. You're more, I won't even say calculated. It's not like you're logically thinking these things out, but you're allowing yourself to feel or process whatever emotions people or your own inner shifts and changes are causing for you before you respond to any kind of outside stimuli or another person's communication or actions or what have you. So there is kind of almost this delayed processing that's going on, but I'm seeing this as a very good thing for you right now, Katie. This is not anything to be like, well, I wish I could just figure out what to do. No, the time delay that's needed for you to make some decisions, it's not coming from a very logical place. It's from a very internal heart, maybe even womb space. Okay, let's get some magical spirit oracles in the mix. Ooh, they're just flipping 2 by 2 by 2. You got 2 tarot, 2 tea leaves, and now 2 of these as well. 3. I lied. See, I hate when I become a liar on national TV or international TV. Well, we'll just read them as they flipped out because some of them were in reverse. But the number 21, which is also associated with that world card, endings, new beginnings, wrapping things up. It says here, blessings and curses, psyche, self-love, and beauty. Do not be ashamed, not of your thorns or your flowers. Again, this is about you allowing whatever needs to come up, but it's not, again, you spewing it all over anyone who's nearby. It's you potentially retreating to show this vulnerability kind of in your own space before you can then express this with somebody else. There is kind of this putting to bed or putting to end of potentially some limiting beliefs. It's like the third eye has blossomed and bloomed, and it's like escaping the top of the head here, to literally look her dead in the eye. And we have the death card, dead in the eye, looking it dead in the eye. So it's like, Katie, a big part of you is just deciding no longer to make excuses for your past behavior or, just ways that you would kind of settle in relationships, in your personal life, in your financial life, just even in your connection with yourself or your connection with others. You're no longer settling for less than you deserve or giving others less than they deserve as well. So these two came out in reverse. Breaking into bloom, time, liberation, and understanding. This is giving me like Wheel of Fortune energy, but it is in reverse. So it's almost like an internal stopping of the clock, examination, delayed processing so that you have the time you need to be able to figure out what you're doing. Sometimes you will break before you bloom. So again, with that death card, there may be certain structures, limiting beliefs, even just like ways that you operate in certain connections, especially with masculine energies in your life that are breaking down. Again, that does not mean that these connections or relationships themselves are breaking down, but the way that you allow the flow of your energy and their energy to kind of mesh and vibe together is shifting. There's a shift in that. And then we have the Spirit of the Tree. This is probably one of my favorite cards from this Magical Spirit Oracle. It just reminds me of Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas. Love it. The number 12, very hanged man energy there. If you're in need of a lesson, there is wisdom in the trees. Spirit of the Tree, nature, priestess, and inner peace. And again, it came out in reverse. So this is kind of letting me know there may just be this call for you to get back out into nature or more nature time. Even if you've been out in nature, it's like your spirit is calling at this time. And of course, depending where you live, it still may not be very nice outside right now. So of course, if you have to bundle up for the weather, do that if you need to. Or it could even just be indicating bringing nature into you. This could be plants, animals, just your connection to Mother Earth in whatever way that feels resonant for you. Let's get one more. Let's go to the Shaman's Dream Oracle. All right, timer went off. Perfect timing. All right. Last message for Katie from her spirit team. Anything else coming through? Ooh, in the hand. The universe is your partner with the number 31. And the number 31 adds up to 4, which is about creating new structures, stability, foundations. Again, a lot of times this card can come up after or during some sort of tower moment. But again, this is very much feeling like an internal tower that you're shifting or you're detonating yourself to create these shifts that will then start to be reflected as something you can build in the external reality as well. And then on the back of the deck, we had the opportunity card with cat or pillar. Very cute. And there's another number 4. I love it. All right. So stability, security, the number 44 might be relevant. The number 21, 29, 21, and 12. 21 and 12 are also inverses of each other, 12 and 21. You're protected. There's something to celebrate coming up. Potential mini death. Oh, this I didn't realize before. There's a flower blooming out of both of these heads. Look at that. You see that? Oh my gosh. And that's not like common, like a common depiction that I think I've seen. And I don't think I've ever actually pulled this card from this Magical Spirit Oracle that I can remember, because it was looking very new and fresh to me. And it almost looks like a poppy rather than a rose. I was going to say that's not a rose. That's like more like a poppy flower. Okay. Well, I hope that resonated for you, Katie. Thanks again for your lovely donation. And make sure to put all these back correctly. And then we will get into Bersha's 2 1-card readings as well. I think just some of these are in here in reverse, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll just put them back as they are there. Okay. So, oh, you just felt rose gold light on this read. Very cool. Okay. So she has texted me the question. So let's go ahead and timestamp 1901. Bersha. Okay. So question 1, 1-card pull, which we will set the timer momentarily. So yesterday I realized that Kay is developing her breasts. Not sure if it was just my mind. Recently when she had UTI, a lot of people thought it was menarche. Now that I am actually fearful, as I feel she is not mentally or emotionally ready for it to happen. Her doctor did not mention on her last visit in November that we have 1 year for sure. Did mention that we have 1 year for sure. But others say, don't go by that. It can happen just within 3 months too. I tapped into her last night, checking with her I am presence. I got 2026, 2027, 2028, as if it can happen any year. which was not helpful. I understand that she might have different timelines planned out. Just a yes or no, is it happening this year? As I would like to prepare myself mentally to handle the situation, not freak out, and make it as comfortable as possible. Please, some clarity, pure source, creation, energy, and her I am presence. Okay. So I'm already, what I'm seeing as, obviously I've told my story here before. I didn't get mine until I was like 2 weeks shy of age 15. So like late. But there was one time when I was 12 that it just kind of randomly showed up, like just as like spotting almost, but then it never again for almost another 2.5 to plus years did I see anything. I'm seeing, not that it may be something actually very similar, but I realized from about that time of the spotting at age 12 that it was like almost like the effects of puberty were still happening even if the, menstrual cycle wasn't happening yet, if that makes sense. So I'm getting a similar vibe to her for her. So even if there's no actual, cycle coming in, her hormones are still cycling. There's something still going on. There's a buildup. So yes, you didn't just see things. You're obviously noticing. Sorry, I'm trying to find my timer. You're obviously noticing that these shifts and changes are happening, and it's inevitable. Obviously, it happens. It happens to most, if not all, of us when we reach those certain ages. But let's just see. Yes, no. Is it happening this year? Interesting, because to me, this is like the, let's not get crazy. This is the pregnancy cup, Ace of Cups, pregnancy cup, or like the filling of the womb. This could just be more literal as like blood filling the womb, but then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups spilling something out. Traditionally, this is a no. Again, that doesn't mean, it's weird because it's like in certain timelines, yes, it's going to happen this year, but then in another timeline, it's fully happening in 2027. So no later than 2027, because timelines are shifting and we do have that element of free will. I can't say yes or no that it's not going to happen this year, but definitely by 2027, as far as all the timelines that I see converging or potentials here, 2027 at the latest. Yeah. That's what I feel. I see the emotional upheaval happening, but the physical cycle is a huge blow, even if I try to make it all happy. Right. Girl mom here. I recommend getting her a period kit for her and her friends. Oh, that's such a great idea. Yeah. See, like I don't have any real practical advice because I didn't have to go through this with Boston, but no one warned me about boys having all these hormonal shifts and absolutely huge, like, I don't know, like whiplash type mood swings. I did not expect that with a boy, but yes, I'm hearing now, yeah, it's just as normal as girls having their mood swings and their, whiplash of emotions and all the fun things. So even though there's no blood experience for him specifically, he still has these hormones raging and fluctuating and doing all the things they do. Any other guidance, wisdom, advice for Versha for Kashvi in this transitional time to make it easier or the easiest? Yeah. Yeah, there's your, again, this is the pregnancy card, not literal, but just becoming a woman. We can put it into that context of becoming a woman. So yes, it's already underway. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen any moment now, but within probably the next year to 18 months, just, be prepared. And I'm seeing that when it actually does happen, you're going to be like, it's going to be like, oh, okay, like we got this. Like she almost is going to feel like, oh yeah, this happened, especially because she's been warned or hopefully forewarned through either the school puberty talk or, anything that you've talked to her about. Maybe even talking to her or starting to talk to her now about how maybe she just feels like, why did I just lash out? And just letting her know that, your emotions are like high and then they're low. And that's not her fault, but it is her responsibility to be mindful of the way that her hormones are being lashed out at other people. That's a talk I think I wished I had with someone, because they talk about all the physical stuff that happens and maybe some of the emotional stuff, but they don't really give you that like practical toolkit as to how to ride the wave of these hormonal fluctuational emotions, right? So if you can help her with that, Versha, you're already miles ahead. That alone would be very beneficial for her. I mean, you're going to see a lot of her creativity come online during this time as well. Not that she's not already creative, but you're going to see her wanting to expand on some of her potential ideas for stories or, things that she's making or creating. And they don't have to be like just straight out creative things, but maybe it, like, say, is an example of something about math. She's finding creative ways to study for math or to, I don't know, maybe creative math games or something like that. Let's get one more. Just any closing statement, word of advice, guidance, wisdom. Okay, yeah, Ten of Swords. So it will be, of course, you can't once the hormones are out of the bag, we can't stuff them back in. But look at that third eye, just wide open. And puberty, if I'm remembering, just from my experience, was such a wild time for my third eye, mystical, supernatural experiences, if we want to call it that. And that's one of the main reasons that I chose to have a 13-year-old pre-menstrual protagonist as my main character at the start of the series. Because this is very uncharted territory middle grade touches on it. And then YA is like, oh, we've already had our period for years, been there, done that. I want it to be in the like war zone of hormones and what's reality and who am I in this world. I have chills as I'm saying all this. So hopefully, maybe, who knows, she will find some of these gifts, or having a mother like you who's open to knowing that, yeah, reality isn't just what we see, taste, touch, hear, smell. There's other stuff going on that's going to help her immensely through all of this, Versha. Yeah. Let's see. I thankfully was at home when it happened, although I had been like, where the hell is it? Like, I was so over prepared for mine because everybody I knew had it except me, even my little sister. So like, I was like, I don't care where I am, just let's bring it on. What's the holdup? What are we waiting for? Oh, yeah, that's what I feel. Oh, let's see. Yeah, girl, you need kitchen magic. I got you. Yes. That's what I feel. I see the emotional upheaval happening, but the physical cycle is a huge blow. Even, yeah, I read that part. Yes, yes. I understand I'm planning to get that, but the idea makes me terrified. The pain, discomfort, maturity level is not on point. Yeah. And girls these days, not all girls, but some girls are getting like 7 and 8 years old. Like, there was one girl I knew growing up who got it at 8, and she was 8 when I was 10. And it was like her mom, I heard her mom and my mom talking at the roller rink at this girl's birthday party. And she's like, I was just not at all prepared for this. She was not prepared for this, but like they made it work, you figure it out. They made it work. Yeah, I hope she is at home when it happens. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we are all body neutral here. Yeah, but still very emotional, right? Yeah. Yesterday, she started crying because she used up all the hot water for her bath. I was terrified and surprised to see her cry like that. Yeah, and that's just kind of a taste test, first of many. Yeah, and you being able to tell her, hey, your feelings aren't wrong. Like Jess is saying here, your feelings aren't wrong, but sometimes the way we choose to express those feelings can be hurtful or maybe not the best thing to say or do to somebody. But that doesn't mean she needs to stuff those down either. You helping her, with coping mechanisms like hand on heart and just where do you feel this emotion in your body? Allow herself to, of course, if she's in the middle of school and she's feeling a certain way, it's probably not socially, I won't say appropriate. It should be socially appropriate to feel your feelings when you're feeling them, obviously. But, if she's feeling a certain type of way during class or on the playground or whatever, to ask to be, excused to the bathroom, maybe go in the stall and feel your feelings, do it in a safely vulnerable space, not a space where you're feeling vulnerable and then others can use that vulnerability you just showed to attack you later with it. Saying it's never wrong to feel anything that you're feeling, but maybe sometimes if we're feeling that in front of other people, they don't understand, they're going to maybe use that as ammo against us to bully us or whatever. Not for her to fear her emotions, but for her to realize, okay, my emotions really are my body processing something that's going on or something from the past or something that's happening right now, whatever the case may be. And just showing her how maybe that you feel your emotions when they're bubbling up or they feel too big to contain or what have you. Yeah, feelings are never wrong. You feel what you feel. How you respond can be actually absolutely yes. What alarmed me was it was her big feeling. So I just calmed her down and made her feel it's okay. It's not her fault, and I am not mad at her. Yeah. Also avoid estrogen heavy foods around her period. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I even see this for my own boys. If I can avoid estrogen heavy foods, because it also affects them. It's not just the girls at this point. It's boys as well. Yeah. I prepped her, and the school has shown them the movie as well. She knows it, yet when it starts, it's another thing. Right, exactly. Yeah, I do my best to ask her to retry and say things in a better way. There you go. Yeah, I always tell her that it's okay to feel anything and everything you feel, but not to take it out on others or project them onto them. Exactly. So you've got it handled. It's just going to be once that threshold is crossed, you'll know what to do. Just instinctively, intuitively as her mom, you'll know what to do and the best way to handle it, and you'll do just fine. And she'll do just fine. She will. It's not the days of the past where everything was a big secret and we had to hide things. Like, it's just not that way anymore, you know? I'm even talking like my time, a lot of the, like, especially like the teenage girls, like with adults, it was still more hush hush, or you barely know much about it. But like amongst the girls, there was a lot of talk about, this, that, and whatever. So like I was very prepared because of all the girls, all the cheerleaders, and the girls I hung out with. So thankfully, I was prepared because of that. Not so much because of the adults, but because of the girls. All right. I always tell her that it's okay to feel anything and everything you're feeling, but not to take it out on others and project onto things. Yes. Also, period underwear is a huge game changer. Yeah. Just get her a few pairs of that she can wear just in case something happens while she's not home and she doesn't have the proper stuff. Like the very first, like, I don't know, flow of it all isn't going to just be like these floodgates. At least, I don't recall that was my experience until like later that day. Like it kind of just started very light and spotty type, and then by that evening, I remember the cramps were cramping and all the fun things. Yeah. Your experience was horrible, and my mom reacted as if someone has died. She didn't tell me any. See, that's what's changed here. You will not have that same experience as the daughter or the mother in this scenario. So Kashfi will already be light years ahead of what you had to experience, just because you're her mom and you're in the driver's seat of navigating this with her. So, yes. For sure. Mom called literally everyone she knew and told them about it. She made a big deal about how she felt about it. Yeah, it wasn't about Jessa. It was about Natalie when that happened. Yeah. Oh my God. Right? It's like, oh, okay. Rant. I could go on a rant. Anywho, let's move to Versha's second question. We're at text. Okay. Got a message that in February, the level up happening I have been undergoing will get anchored into my body completely. And with that, it will allow the swap for S to happen around the same time. That is the eclipse. Also, the incoming spirit felt more like masculine this time. Not sure if that's the same spirit. I'm not planning to bite into this hot potato yet. Would like to know if this download is real and is going to happen, considering his current egocentric mind and control of inversion matrix. As a swap happens or not happening, felt dependent on me again somehow. Clarity, please. Pure source creation energy. What I'm hearing is when the time comes, whether that's February or 3 Februarys from now or never, whenever, or, however or whenever this happens, it will not be dependent on you. This is something totally within his own spirit, his own vessel, the spirit that wants to come in. Weirdly enough, I know, take this as it resonates, Versha. It still feels to me like the same spirit. It's just realizing I need to take a different approach to make this happen. So there is a more masculine presentation to the way this spirit will come in, rather than that very flowy feminine presentation we were getting before, if that makes sense. But let's get into our timer here. Now my nose is itchy. So whatever happens, it's going to be for your highest good. So whether the swap happens in February or later, or it doesn't happen at all, whatever is happening and whatever's happening for you, not to you, but for you. And so in a lot of ways that does seem or feel like, well, my evolution is going to be very dependent, or his evolution is going to be very dependent on my evolution, and da 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 da, or vice versa, or the other way around, or whatever. But no, in actuality, yes, we bump up against each other and our ripples and frequencies can resonate with or repel other people. But this initiation, we'll call it, is instigated or initiated by his own spirit and has been. It's like the call has been going out for a while with his spirit. But what I'm seeing spiritually or energetically speaking, it's almost like his spirit has been like gagged and bound and put in the trunk, and his ego is just driving erratically down a freeway, like dodging cops and robbers and bullets and like trying not to wreck into stuff. And then the spirit's like in the back, all bound and gagged, like in the trunk. Energetically speaking, that's how removed from being able to instigate this initiation his spirit feels right now. That doesn't mean that it's going to remain like that, though, because obviously this eclipse can shift things or wake things up. As this matrix is falling apart, so are these false masks, false selves, egos, especially when these people who are very egocentric in their approach to life or who they think they are, what their job is, how they label themselves. As the matrix is falling, so are these labels, so are these false selves, so are these masks. So these people are going to be left scrambling at the loss of identity in some way or another. It's just how it is. Think back to your awakening. There was a loss. It almost always, not always, but almost always is instigated or kicked off by a big hit to our ego in some way. And I would say, just as an example, mine was my photography business just dried up overnight. I had the highest high that I ever had in my photography business was when my one picture went viral. 2.4 million views back then. I don't know what it would be at today. I know it's slowed way down, obviously, but of that one photo, and all these shares, like hundreds of thousands of shares on this photo. But that was my last photo session besides a wedding that I did that I'd booked just like pretty much right after that. That wasn't, for my dentist's office or just for random friends or family or whatever. That's when the ego death came in for me, because I lost, for a couple years there, I was identifying as the photographer, the artist, the whatever. And then that was ripped away from me. And it was almost like this catalyst for what I was doing. I know we set the timer. I didn't even pull a card, but so much just channeled through. We'll still pull a card just to say we did, but yeah. So things are changing and shifting and moving forward and happening. It's almost like, see, she's pulling this back. It's almost like once it hits back and she takes her aim, and by she, I mean S's spirit. That's, both the spirit that wants to get the heck out of here and the one that wants to anchor in. It's their dynamic that is trying to, because there's a moving target, think of that, weaving through traffic, trying to dodge policemen. There's a lot of movement, but not the kind of movement we're hoping for. So it's almost like a moving target trying to, with this ego, just fighting for its life, basically, in the fall of this false matrix. And this is giving very much Sagittarius season, or a transit on Vedic Sagittarius, specifically Uttara Ashada. That's the one. It's the last nakshatra that then goes into also Capricorn from Sagittarius. So I don't know if he has any placements in Uttara Ashada nakshatra or not. But whether he does or doesn't, there may be either a square or a trine or an opposition. Of course, if there's something transiting in Gemini, in Purnavasu nakshatra, Purnavasu points across to both Purva Ashada and Uttara Ashada. There's Purva Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni. Purva Ashada, Uttara Ashada. So I get confused, but I know which one's which. The Falgunis are in Leo. The Bhadrapadas are in Aquarius going into Pisces, and then the Ashadas are in Capricorn, and Sagittarius. Yes. So there you go. December. So let's see. Final thought I rested was that it will happen the next time Matrix unravels for good. He identifies as the person responsible for his family. That's what I tapped into, his energy. He thinks he is responsible to keep his family in India happy in material world. And the more this matrix falls apart, the deeper these claws of the matrix and the ego are going to dig into the rapidly unfurling or unraveling material world. And people who over-identify with their appearance, look how crazy and off the rails people are getting with like these wild plastic surgeries, and my only worth is in how I look, and I can't age a day, or I'm old and I'm irrelevant, or what have you. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, I mean, do I want like a face full of wrinkles at 43, almost 44? Probably not, but like I'm not opposed to getting them and acquiring them as time goes on, because that means I lived a life and I'm a person. And like think of like even just micro expressions, or like, people, they can't, when you're crying and you're angry and you're looking like this, that is like psychotic. But I read something too, that a lot of these people that are getting all these fillers and injections and stuff in their face, they can't, the muscles can't contract the way that the emotion is used to them contracting. So they're not somehow still now able to process emotions the way they once were, because muscle memory. I mean, it's all connected, but I keep thinking they don't want us to feel those deep emotions that we've been suppressing right now, because that is what's kind of keeping a lot of us anchored into this false matrix, are the traumas and the buried emotions. If we allow these emotions to come up and actually feel them, process them, see them on our faces, if we're talking to someone else and them seeing our hurt or us seeing their hurt, and we even have like mirror neurons or mirror expressions, that when someone's telling us, what they've been through, and we're like, oh, like our face will like mirror what they're going through or what they're telling us. You get all these injections on board. There's no accident that they're pushing hardcore, heavily pushing this agenda. And it's not even for people to just feel irrelevant after age 30 or whatever. 27, I guess, is expired in their eyes, even not even 30, 27. And by there, I mean the agenda they're trying to push, after 27, you look old. It doesn't matter. It's like, I don't know. For me at 27, I thought I still looked 17, but I don't know. It's really weird. But yes, back to the whole thing. The more anchored in these material world labels people are, and S is, they're unraveling though. They're unraveling, and it's going to be almost like cognitive dissonance on fleek. It's going to be so intense that, but look, we do have this here, 7 of Wands. There's a push and a pull, right? But weirdly enough, it's almost like this is counting down, like the 7 to the 6, which is the victory, or a victory. And then there's the 5 of Wands, which is about more conflict, more chaos, more, chaos, I think is really the right word. Then the 4 of Wands is very much, okay, let's get rooted and grounded in something new. 3 of Wands is, finally following through on a plan. 2 of Wands is making the plan. And then the Ace of Wands is having the inspiration for a plan. So it's almost like going in reverse, or something going in backwards, to be able to get him where he needs to be, like a countdown. Yeah, because Ascension happens, women who will look, the women will look 27 and the men more like 32. So trying to mimic it yeah, you're right. You're right. But the weird thing is, these people who are falsely or kind of surgically trying to maintain their way. I won't say like people who put topicals and like take really good care of their skin and do like facial exercises to like keep things tight and good looking, that's relative, relative. But that's That's natural. That's normal. Working out the muscles of your face to keep your face from sagging, that makes perfect sense to me. But people who are looking to do it through these toxins and injections and, surgical, literally cutting and then pulling it back, that doesn't feel natural. Like there's a dissonance rather than a resonance, I have a whole soapbox about style being curated, why our style icons are mature women, if mature women are so under. Thank you for that. Round of applause. Yes, Jessa, great point you brought up, I should say. I mean, think of the Jackie O's and even the Princess Diana's. It wasn't her younger, I mean, maybe like, oh, iconic wedding, whatever, but it was usually her like over age 30 styles that we still look at as like, she's an icon, she's, timeless, she's whatever. And then all these others that I'm sure I'm blanking on names right now, but I'm sure Jessa has examples of all of these ladies that we just look at as these huge style icons that are, many of them well over the age of 30. But think of it this way, not to say that people under the age of 30 aren't relevant. They obviously are. They're they try to project it as they are the most relevant of all. Because it is so fleeting and it just slips through your fingers so quickly. I mean, we age at this point, we're aging every 5 seconds because time is going by so fast. But again, they have to invert it. And the most feared demographic for these elites and this matrix is the one they want to demonize the most. It's older or elder women, because they've had the life experience. They've seen some ish, right? Diane Keaton, absolutely. Rest in peace, Diane. She was so cool. But yeah, they want to demonize it. And if you want to even get it further, melanated elder women, that is their like worst fear, is those amazing ladies coming online, because it is crazy how much they have inverted just everything. Jane Birkin, yes, you're coming up with all the good ones. I love it. Yeah, it's like diving down from where I am just to even talk to him or have, yeah. And that's not you just making that up in your head. You're feeling just this complete dissonance because there's just such a chasm between. But it's almost like, they used to say all the time in these awakening circles and stuff that, at a certain point, we can't keep dipping back because it's only hurting us. They're going to have to start rising to the occasion to meet us. Really. Yeah, the Crohn's. Not Crohn's disease, but funny they call it that, right? I mean, I know they spell it different, but Maiden, Mother, and Crone. And that's the crazy thing, is we have access. That is the original Holy Trinity, if you want to think about it, for the Divine Feminine. And we have access to all 3 archetypes within that. One can't shine alone. You need all 3 to create the alchemy of the Divine Feminine, heaven on earth kind of paradigm that we are looking, the matrilineal way that earth once resonated, right? Yeah, well, for sure, this level up, I do not think I will be able to dive back anymore. Carrie shared the same in one of her videos and shorts. Yeah, it gets hard. And then you notice if it's not someone you live with, they just kind of almost just naturally vibrate out of your life, or something happens to where there's a conflict and then you go your separate ways or what have you. Or maybe they're letting you know, hey, can't be friends anymore, or whatever the case may be. I had plenty of that, especially in 2021, 2022. It was a big year for me of just splitting off from things that I thought were like part of my foundation as far as friendships and just stability in thinking that, okay, I've risen up to this whatever vibration I'm at. Like, the people who are here should be able to stay here, right? But no, like, the more we offload, it's almost like, think of this. It's like this is tethered to the ground, but then you start letting all the ropes that are tethering it down go, and it starts to rise higher and higher and higher and higher. Or you drop the weight that's weighing it down, it just rises higher and higher and higher. And a lot of people on this awakening journey have even kind of almost self-sabotage to keep themselves at a certain level so that they don't lose these people that they are really just not resonating with, but at the same time, they don't want to get so high that they can't resonate anymore. So they almost sometimes even try to go back to sleep, not fully, but like semi asleep. I've done it. I've done it myself. Not asleep so much, but just okay, well, status quo. Let's just keep status quo. I can be spiritual like on my own time, but like in this connection or this opportunity or work environment or this, the moms at the sports, whatever. And now I'm done tethering myself to an old paradigm that doesn't work for me anymore. So if that means I'm at these sport, which weirdly enough, it doesn't, because certain people have kind of plucked themselves from this amorphous blob of just like strangers to like almost come and befriend me. And I'm just like, wow, okay. So actually, it's only worked to my benefit because I can't see what's above that until I allow myself to rise, right? And then other people are being triggered by your resonance, even if you're not talking to them. You being, 3 seats down from them is triggering their resonance. And even if it's either going to attract or repel or kind of neutralize potentially, but mostly retract or repel, or attract or repel, I should say. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not doing it. I cannot do it. The alignment of my truth is so, so important to me. Yeah. As you had read for me a few months ago, I do not care what others think. It's their perspective from their level of consciousness. Absolutely. And they do not have your life experience and your awakening to fall back on to be like, oh, that's why she's different than us or whatever. They just judge it from their very limited little lens of reality that they're looking through. They don't see all of this that you see. They only see this. And when we can realize what other people think of us is none of our business and like make that our theme song, we're going to be a lot better off. Because people are going to judge you from the limited lens of their past experiences, point blank, period. There are those people who are open-minded that can kind of put all that aside and just be open to hearing your perspective or just examining you from afar from an open perspective. That can happen. I try to do that as much as I can, but at times I still almost catch myself projecting past versions of my life onto other people to this day. Like we all do it. It's just almost programmed into us until we choose different. And then when you realize you're doing that, you can say, no, none of that. We're going to do something different. Yeah. By the way, I shared S's chart with you to have a look at the Sag and Nakshatra part. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I'll have to take a look at that at some point. But yeah, I'm sure there will be something there or something triggering that area because it came out very clearly in the reading. So anywho, I hope that helped. Just keep raising your frequency or doing the things you're called to do from your heart, from your womb. And whatever happens with him will happen with him. It's not your responsibility, if that makes sense. So don't make it your responsibility. It doesn't have to be. Okay. Jessa is next. Go ahead and post your question, Jessa. We'll get right into it for you. Yeah, I've come to a place where I know the person sleep is doing wrong, but rather than judging them, I think this is where they are consciously. Yeah, it's almost like, I like to take it back to school because that's a very common example. So many of us can see like the progression from year to year, to grade. That's like a senior in high school looking at a kindergartner like, God, you're an idiot. They haven't had the time or the capacity to experience all those other 12 grades that you went through that they haven't been through yet. Right? And even if they're older than you, they're in kindergarten, vibrationally speaking, and you're maybe a senior in high school. But then someone with their PhD is looking at you, again, in a non-judgmental way, hopefully, like they're coming from the lens of a senior in high school, Just as an example, it's not that extreme probably, but you get what I'm saying. Yes, you're so welcome. Anytime. Jessa's turn. Get into it for Jessa. And I just heard switch to Cozy Witch, so we're doing it. Cozy Witch Tarot for Jessa's question. All right. She may have already texted me. Yes. By the way, crushed my interview yesterday. Yes. So what's next, Spirit? Okay, let's find out. She crushed that interview. What is next, Spirit? In alignment with her true spirit, what is next for Jessa? Woo! Okay, we have 9 of Swords, so there may still be a bit of anxiety. We have 3 a.m. on the clock there. Just some stress. We all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. But that's the thing, is these worries are just pinpoints of potential. That doesn't mean that they are true or will come true. So I'm seeing anytime at all you catch yourself worrying or feel like I wish I had more options or what have you, just embodying your divine presence, your divine self, and saying, I don't need this. They need me. I don't need them. Like almost like get back into Lululand about it. That'll help you overcome. But if there is this nagging thought or worry that keeps coming up for you for whatever reason, ask it, what are you trying to tell me? I just get it out. Just what are you trying to tell me? If you hear crickets, it's most likely just that hive mind collective consciousness like trying to make you worry or stress yourself out. If you actually get an answer or response, that's medicine from your spirit to let you know where there's still like cracks that you can fill in with your spirit, basically. Anything else Jessa needs to know? Oh, I forgot to set the timer. I should probably do that. I'm gonna do that. Yes. Okay. Anything else Jessa needs to know from True Spirit? There's just so much worry here. And this, again, is not like sourced from you. Oh, you've been up since, there you go. We have, okay, there's a countdown. We went from the 9 of Swords to the 8 of Swords. I always call 8 of Swords my mini, like a lower octave of the Devil card. Stop overthinking and just do it. So the more you can get out of your head about, maybe I should have said this instead, or what if they don't select me, or, whatever, the more you can get out of your head, the better, because there is a tower coming. Get ready. Things are about to shake up. Again, towers do not always mean doom and gloom. They do not. This could just be your whole daily routine is changing because you got the job. You got the job. Let's see. Advice, guidance, wisdom, anything Jessa needs to know right now, especially as a result of crushing this interview. Woo. Okay, that's more like it. Okay. STFU, BI, whatever. This is what you're saying to those thoughts that keep trying to encroach. Don't you, Jessa, dare lower your inner authority, your inner voice for this collective hive mind entity interference noise that's been coming up to make you worry or think, well, this is my last chance, so like I gotta get it or whatever. Then we have the Ace of Wands and the 9 of Wands. Olympic athlete. This is someone who is at the peak of their game. They know what's up. But the Ace of Wands, it says, don't you see how your passion makes you glow? Yes. And then it would take a hell of a lot more to defeat you. All this noise, okay, we'll keep her up here, but all this noise, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than some entity trying to get into your thoughts and in your head to keep you down. Okay, let's just see what the interviewer and those they've spoken to about said interview, or those who were present at the interview. Yeah, tower is a lighthouse. Just look at it like that. What the people associated with the interview process thought of you, your interview, your talents, your resume, what you have to offer, what you have to bring to the table. Okay, 5 of Wands. Okay, a good coven lets every witch have its say. I'm actually seeing this because I knew there was a reason we were using this deck specifically, and I'm glad we did, because normally this is about conflict, chaos. Again, there may be that they are trying to decide between you and another. It could be coming down to you and another, but this is about letting them know that you have a very unique spin or voice or talent or way that could be presented here. And then this is the other one. 9 of Cups. Live in a constant state of gratitude. So whatever happens as a result, they're very grateful that you took the time to interview and let them know what you have to offer their company. And, it was impressive. I do see this as something very impressive. King of Wands on the back of the deck. Shine your inner candle bright enough for others to follow. So this is like a leader position that they would potentially be looking at you for, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's not giving a definitive, you got the job or not, but like, because it's not set in stone. That's the crazy thing. But they were very impressed. There's another candidate they're pretty impressed with as well. But let's just see. I love this. Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. That's a little more like it. Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. They need help. They need this role filled, this position filled. And you would make a really great person for the job. Birth or a new opportunity. Yeah, this is very much potential. Again, timelines be doing what they do. I'm not getting like a distinct, absolutely, the job is yours, because there's too many other variables that are still out there for debate, but it looks pretty darn good. If the job is for some reason not yours, it is no fault of yours again. Baskets on the back of the deck. Recognition and reward for merit. Well, in the instance of the interview, the reward for your merit would be, hey, would you like a job with us? You can sit with us. We have good luck on the back with the horseshoe as well. I love that. And aren't we in the year of the fire horse? Horseshoe? Get ready to move. Get ready to run in a new direction. Year of the fire horse, horseshoe. And horseshoes protect. There's something protective about a horseshoe on a horse. Let's just see. I'm not a horse girly. I've liked horses in the past, but I don't know enough about them to like, what is the purpose? We'll just get the brass tacks. Purpose of a horseshoe. I'm pretty sure they're like protective and all that. Protect a horse's hooves from excessive wear, cracking, and injury caused by walking on hard, abrasive, or rocky surfaces. Also provide a crucial traction. That's what you need, is some traction to finally be able to move forward, right? I know they don't have claws, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so traction and stability. Provide a better grip, reducing the risk of slip and falls, or, yet another, something slipping through your fingers. Support and correction helps correct the uneven and unnatural or faulty gait, and supports injured or weak hooves. And then therapeutic application used for treating specific ailments such as laminitis and to provide cushioning. Commonly made of steel or aluminum. So there's something about metal. Alchemy is coming to mind. Turning lead into gold, right? Oh my gosh. I love these downloads that are coming through. Let's get one of these. These can be ominous cards, but like, we'll just see what's going on. Okay. I love this because, women in solar, like that's what that's giving. Running away. And I'm not seeing this as you running away from the job. It's running away from what you've been going through. Game over, meaning what you've been going through is game over. You're ready to run to something that's supportive. And we were just talking about the horse being able to run away from being protected, right? So, yeah, I take some of these ominous meanings more positive in this regard. Because when you think game over, well, game over for what you've been going through and what you've been doing, interviewing, this going on, being unemployed. Of course, we want game over on that. We want game over on that. We want you being able to run away from having to be in, not like you're bypassing it, like, spiritual bypassing by running away. No, running into another opportunity, getting off this timeline, getting onto something else. And then normally this is like an indication of cheating. But again, I'm taking it more literal, like, you're leaving your mark on, being a woman in solar. And then fighting for what you love, claiming what's yours. Love is a battlefield. And that's kind of what this is like. Game over. You won. Game over. You won. That's how I want to take this. Oh, that was so fun. Very cool. Okay, so I think we've reached the end of our donations for today, but I will go ahead and timestamp everybody that needs one. specifically Bearsha and Katie that needed one. But yeah, I will be back here Wednesday, and I'm thinking free 1-card pull Wednesday. We'll do that. And then Friday, since we did our donation only live stream today, next Friday, maybe we can do another Cosmic Question Corner. We got our jar here. So be thinking of some cosmic questions that you might want to know for next Friday. So Wednesday, free 1-card pull to start. Friday next week, Cosmic Question Corner. How about that? I love Cosmic. You guys know me in my Cosmic Question Corner. And then probably the week after, we'll do another collective reading. Let me just look at the calendar here because I do want to know horseshoes. Oh my gosh, yes. Literally have fake nails on your toes. Yeah. For those of you that like, why would you put fake nails on your toes? Just to like injure her toe, her big toe, to like, so the nail doesn't grow like fully on her big toe. So that's so cool. I'm missing a fingernail. She's missing a toenail. Like we're a match made in heaven. Soulmate sisters. Yeah, your MC is in Pisces, which rules the feet. I love that. Yes. If everything is shown on Stranger Things has I love that question. I love that question. I love that question. Yes. And I'm already getting a big yes, but like we can of course dive into it and really sink our teeth into it during a Cosmic Question Corner. I have chills. So obviously we need to dive into that. So today's the 30th. So I'm going to scroll past January and get us to the next month. So we're into February. So next Wednesday would be the 4th, which is my friend Cindy's birthday. Friday would be the 6th. The next Wednesday after that would be we're going to probably have to do our eclipse reading on the 11th. On 2/11, we'll do our eclipse reading, our eclipse season reading, the solar and lunar eclipse, taking us to the next 6-month eclipse cycle in February, March, April, May, June, July, August sometime, I think is our next eclipse, maybe July, August, somewhere in there. Because the Friday before that, the 13th, Friday the 13th, we have a Friday the 13th coming up, y'all, will be a donation only live stream on 2 weeks from today, basically. And then Tuesday is the eclipse and the Lunar New Year. It's all on one day. And then Ash Wednesday will be the 18th. And I'd rather do the eclipse reading before the eclipse takes place rather than after. So we'll do the eclipse reading on the 11th. So just for those of you that are here, next Wednesday, which is our next live stream. Again, fingers crossed I don't have a migraine or something that's taking me away from this. I don't think we will, but in case we do, we'll adapt. We'll shift. We'll morph. We'll do what we need to do. Oh, my husband just texted. Just got our bonuses, so that must be good news. And it's 1209 1209, Jessa. So this to me feels like good news. He works in corporate. You're hoping to get a job in corporate. Let's take it as a win, right? So Wednesday we'll do our free 1-card pull. Next Friday, Cosmic Question Corner. The Wednesday on the February 11th, we'll do our big eclipse special. And then that Friday the 13th, we'll do our donation only live stream. And then, yeah. Yes, luminaries retrograde. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like the one time the luminaries would be considered retrograde. The energy of it will, of course, reverberate over those next 6 months till the next one. And, on and on it goes. But I'm excited. I'm feeling really good and pumped up and feeling like we're building to something here. Also, that all being said, of course, the energies and the animosity and the tumultuousness of just the friction of one side versus another, pitting all these sides against each other, paradigms and narratives that are going on, agendas that are going on out there are going to amp up as well. So buckle up, besties, because things are happening. Yeah. Oh, Friday the 13th, Freya, Divine Feminine Day. That will be fun. Let's do that. Remind me though, because I might forget. We can do holy cow, that's a huge number. Wow, he got a big bonus. He's got big bonus and he cannot lie. That's life-changing money to somebody out there for sure. Yes, remind me. We will do that. We'll do like our drawing and giveaway before the donation live stream. So technically it's not a donation only live stream, but because it's on a special day, let's do it. I love that. And we don't have that many names in here, really. Just a little sprinkling, just a little handful compared to the full pouch that we had. So there's a pretty good chance for anyone who's already in here or who will be entered in to win a giveaway drawing or a giveaway full read and a drawing, which is more of just a quick general read, if that makes sense. Because you do not need to be present to win the drawing, but you do need to be present to win the giveaway, if that makes sense. Those of you who've been here for a while, you know what it's all about. I think that sounds like a great time. Yeah, I was reading when I was doing the schedule, I'm like, "Aw, donation only live stream kind of falls on the 13th. That'd be a fun time to do something cool." Who knows? Anyway, yes, we will do something cool. Great suggestion. Okay, so I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm kind of playing it by ear with Boston because he's not at school today. He's at his middle school, his old middle school, helping his old band teacher set up for this big thing that they're doing. So he got to be called out of class for the day today to help set up with 2 other students from last year's 8th grade that are now 9th graders. So he feels real special today that he was like one of Mr. Z, his old band teacher's favorite students. So teacher's pet, just like his mom was. Well, only to certain teachers. There were certain teachers I'm just like, get away from me. I cannot stand you. Mr. Children, get away from me. Jessa, did you ever have Mr. Chalgren? Oh my God. EBGBs. He creeped me out big time. She says 100%. I'm making some, yup. Oh, did you ever have to smell his breath? It was like, I can't even describe it. It was so disgusting. I can still smell it. But then now that I know that smell is one of that's like my main sense for my human design as far as like connecting to things or something. I don't know how that whole sense works in human design, but there are certain, like if I try to remember what something smelled like, I can smell it in my mind. Or if I smell something, like physically smell something, weirdly though, I kind of like the smell of wet mulch. So it had some like undertone to it, Jessa. Because it was almost like rotten pizza mixed with coffee, mixed with something else. I don't even know why. Ew, gross. But if I smell something that I haven't smelled in years, it will trigger like memories and bring me back to when I smelled it before. Like there was this perfume that someone was wearing like when I was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and I smelled it. It was in my 20s that I smelled it somewhere we were, and I'm like, oh my God, like it just unlocked. I like my life from back then flashed before my eyes. It's weird. Smell is weird. Yeah, it was disgusting. And it was thick and it was strong. Yeah, like pizza with peppers on it, but like not in a good way, because I love the smell of peppers on pizza when it's like freshly baked and good, and but I don't know what he had going on, and I don't care to know. It brings back memories for me as well. Maybe one of your the sense that you have, I guess, in human design could be smell. Who knows? It's funny because in my like just standard tropical chart, it was touch, which also, yes, but smell, I don't know, there's something about smell that like takes me back memory wise, or almost gives me deja vu. Like if it's a future memory or something, I get like deja vu a lot with smells. And I want to say a lot of times smell will trigger my deja vu when I do have it. It's been rare lately. But yeah, like I used to like in my early, like late teens, early 20s, there were like 3 different deodorants that I loved that the second I was like on that train, they would discontinue that scent. And I like grieved. Like I'm not kidding, you guys. And I even kept probably until, well, it was around the time we moved in here, or probably right before. So from at like age 21 through 27, 26, 27, I kept these old deodorant bottles because they discontinued it and they never didn't. I smelled it one last time and then I threw them away. Like I finally was able to let go 6 or 7, 8 years later. Yeah, you also have the gift of smell. I think they call it clairolfaction or like olfactory. Yeah. And then clear tasting is like gustance, Gust Gustians or something. 6, 7. Oh my God. When they do this with that though, I think, okay, we're balancing the scales. Yes, things are very chaotic right now. First you're up, then you're down, then you're up, then the others are down, and it's crazy. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go, guys. I love you. Oh, your taste is strong as well, but not my smell. Well, maybe you have that tasting sensation. It's weird because since my awakening, I will just randomly smell what I call spiritual smoke. It kind of starts out smelling like cigarette smoke, but it's not quite. It's more like it's like deeper and more earthy than cigarettes or even the wildfire smoke. But you'd think wildfire smoke would obviously be very earthy because it's burning the earth or things of the earth, right? But it's even more earthy. I don't know. It's hard to put smells into words because you can't just paint a picture for somebody. Kate would love the 6'7" mention. Oh my God, kids in their 6'7". It's so funny. You can play it back for her. All right, you guys, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. Oh, your smell is stronger, I meant. Gotcha. Yep. Oh, but not as your smell. Oh, okay. I'm kind of the same way, I think. Yeah, smell is definitely stronger for me than taste even, and especially since I've gotten older, like, nothing tastes right anymore. Especially since I got COVID, and yes, I did lose my taste, and smell during COVID, but I got it back. Dr. Lupo told me how. But it's just and like, not momentarily, but, like, from time to time, I'll almost taste this, like, soapy metal taste on my tongue. No matter how many times I use my tongue scraper and brush my teeth, and, like, it just, like, permeates my tongue, and I hate that. But when I tune in and ask what the hell's going on, I hear two things. I hear detox and sensing beyond the senses. So I'm tuning into something that's off about this realm, obviously. She loved meeting your lovely pet as well, with her own demand for one. Yesterday, a small girl dog came running to our home kitchen as our garage was open, and she was so fast. Aw, cute. Yeah, well, I kind of did most of my outro. I love you guys. I will see you Wednesday for our free one card pull. So hopefully everything goes according to plan and we're able to meet and there's no headaches or migraines or any other things keeping us from each other, because I love you guys and it's so fun for me to be here. And hopefully it's fun for you to be here as well. All right, you guys, thanks again. Yeah, okay, it's gonna let me end it. Okay. All right, you guys.